Welcome student. In previous video we have seen the morphology of reproductive part of first point inflorescence. In this video we are going to see a morphology of a reproductive part of flower. First we have to see the definition of a flower. Flower is defined as highly modified condensed shoot, limited growth and the specialized for the reproduction and the formation of a fruit and a seed. That is known as a flower. Next, parts of flower. There are five parts. First, pedicel, calyx, corolla, stamen, and carpel. The part of flower are classified into two parts: non-essential parts, essential parts. Non-essential, calyx, corolla. Calyx unit is known as sepal, corolla unit is known as the petals. Essential parts: androcieum, gynocieum, unit of stamen and the unit of carpel. On the basis of reproduction, that classification will be done. In flower we can see there are colorful part is present, that is known as a petal, individual member of a corolla. There is a green color part is present, that is known as a calyx. Individual member is known as a sepal. Then androcieum individual member is known as a stamen. We can see in a figure the stamen name is given. Another is a gynocieum. The individual member of gynocieum, it is a carpel or pistil, that are given in figure. We can see in a figure. Then pedestal. The stalk of flower is called as a pedestal. A flower with pedestal is known as a pedicellate. For example, hibiscus. A flower without pedestal is known as a sessile flower. For example, tuberose. Thalamus. It is the apex of a pedicel, slightly swollen, and the bear of floral leaves. The thalamus is also known as a receptacle. The internode region between calyx and corolla is known as a anthophore. The second internode, the region between corolla and androcieum, is called as an androphore. And the third region, the internode between androcieum and gynocieum, is known as a gynophore. That are the thalamus. The floral holes. A flower bears 4 holes: calyx, corolla, androcieum, and gynocieum. They are arranged in an ascending order. The symmetry of flower, it depends upon size, shape, and the forms of an individual member of a different floral holes. These are proportionally placed on the thalamus. When flower can be divided into two exactly equal halves or parts, that taking any vertical section passing through the center is known as a actinomorphic. When flower cannot be divided into two equal halves or the part by taking any vertical section passing through the center, it is known as a zygomorphic flower. When all petals of flower are the similar size, it is called as a regular flower. When they are dissimilar in size and shape, that is known as the irregular flower. The left side image, it is a actinomorphic, and right side image is a zygomorphic. The insertion of floral holes on the thalamus. First, hypogynous. Hypo means below. The majority of flower, the thalamus convex, conical, and flat, and ovary occupies the topmost position in thalamus, and the remaining floral holes, calyx, corolla, androcieum, are inserted below the level of ovary. That is known as a hypogynous. Perigynous, the thalamus is a cup shape. The disc shape ovary is situated in a hollow center of a disc. Calyx, corolla, androcieum are inserted around the ovary. That is known as the perigynous. And epigynous, epi means above. The thalamus deeply concave cup shape. Ovary is completely enclosed within the thalamus. Ovary is present below the all floral holes. In figure we can see, in first figure, hypogynous. Ovary is present upper side of all floral holes. In perigynous, ovary is surrounded by the floral holes. And in epigynous, ovary it is present at the base and all floral hole present at the apex. That is known as a epigynous. Ovary position. Then sexuality, that is known as the sexual character of a flower. In a single plant, only one sex organ is present, that is known as a unisexual, male or female. Staminate, the single plant contain only stamen, that is known as a staminate flower. Pistillate, single plant contain pistil or carpel, that is known as a pistillate. Bisexual, in a single plant both sex organ are present, that is known as a bisexual flower. Mericity, that is a mericity, it is nothing but the number on which number they are classified. For example, trimerous, when there are three members of each floral whorls, such as sepal, petal, that are known as a trimerous. There is a three petals, three sepals. Tetramerous, four in number. Pentamerous, five in a number. We can see there are three petals, that means trimerous. Here are four petals, that is tetramerous. Here are five petals, that is pentamerous. Let's see one by one. Corolla, calyx. What is a calyx? The outermost whole of flower formed by the sepal is known as a calyx. It is a non-essential wholes. The sepal are generally green in color. They protect a flower in a bud condition. The calyx show the variation in a size, shape, color, and duration. The sepal may be free. It is called as a polysepalous. The sepal may be united. That is called as a gamosepalous. In figure we can see the left hand image, it is the gamosepalous, and right hand image is the polysepalous. That means sepals are fused and the forming tube, that is known as gamosepalous. Sepals are free and they are free in condition, that is known as the polysepalous. Modification of sepals: petaloid, pappus, and the spur. What is petaloid? The sepals are large, bright in color, look like petaloid. Hence, that is known as the petaloid sepals. Pappus, when sepal become a hair-like feathery outgrowth, and the pappus helps for the seed dispersal point, that is known as a pappus calyx. Spur calyx, it is a one or many sepals of the calyx prolonged to the bright color. Tubular process is called as a spur. The spur usually store the nectar. Spur, that means nothing but the at a base of calyx there is a long prolonged outgrowth are formed, that is known as a spur. Next is the estivation. Estivation is nothing but the arrangement of petals and sepals in a flower as well as in a bud condition. Valvate, here floral leaves, petals and sepals are arranged side by side, that is known as a valvate. Then twisted, here floral leaves shows the regular overlapping direction. One is a one end of that petal is inside, another is outside. One is inside, another is outside. Imbricate, here one floral leaf is completely in and one completely out, and remaining are the overlapping. One is completely in, one is completely out, and remaining are the overlapper. Quinquential, here it is a rare, it is found in only pentamerous flower only. Here two petals innermost, two petal outermost, and one is a alternate. Vexillary, it is a rare, it is found in pentamerous flower only. Here two petals is the innermost, two petal outermost, and the one is a alternate. We can see kill, that is a lower petals. Two another side, that is known as wing petals, and the two at the upper side larger petal, that is known as a banner. Vexillary, there are five petals. Largest petal is known as a standard. Overlap two lateral wing. Petals are wing, which turns to overlap into two smaller anterior petals. That means first two top are the standard petals. Middle two are the wing petals, and the one is a kill petal. Corolla, the corolla are the four types: regular polypetalous, regular gamopetalous, irregular polypetalous, irregular, and gamopetalous. First is the regular polypetalous. We have know the meaning of regular and the polypetalous. First is a cruciform corolla. Cruciform corolla, the corolla consists four free petal arranged like a cross of a church, and each petal consists of a claw and a claw and a limb. For example, family cruciferaceae, we can see church like symbol are arises. Then regular gamopetalous, It is a gamopetalous actinomorphic. Five petals are united forming the funnel-shaped structure. It is a key character of a family Solanaceae. Papilionaceous corolla. The corolla is made up of five irregular shaped petals, with one is a posterior outermost largest petal is called as a standard petal, two smaller petal is known as a wing petal, and the two anterior smallest petal that is known as a keel petal. The keel encloses the stamens and the carpels. Whole structure of corolla is look like a butterfly. Irregular gamopetalous in that bilabiate corolla. The corolla of gamopetalous irregular and consists five petals united to form a two distinct leaves, that is a 2 plus 3. The upper leaf form the union of two petals and the lower leaf form the fuse of two petals. For example, labiate, upper 3 and lower 2. Tubular corolla. The corolla forming the tube shaped corolla that is known as tubular corolla. For example, sunflower. The regular united petals form the cylindrical tubular corolla without spreading limbs. For example, disc floret campanulate corolla. The petals are regular united to form a bell shaped corolla. Basal part is a narrow, increasingly spread, widen at the top to form a bell shaped corolla structure. For example, gourd and the cucurbit. Campanulate corolla that having the bell shaped structure. Petals are united forming a bell shaped structure. Perianth. Perianth, it is nothing but when calyx and corolla is not differentiated, then floral whorls is known as a perianth. For example, tuberose. The individual of member of perianth is known as a tepals. Polytepalous, gamotepalous. Polytepalous means tepals are free in condition, and the gamotepalous tepals are in a united condition. Androcieum, it is a third floral whorls. It is the first essential whorls made of stamen, microsporangia. Stamen is a male reproductive organ that having the part anther, filament and the connective. Anther are present at the tip of a filament. Each filament consists two anther lobe and each anther lobe contains two pollen sac, and each anther possesses four pollen sac, and the anther at the maturity dehisces pollen grain outside. The anther is the essential part of stamen, but absent the stamen, that is known as a sterile stamen. Pollen grain are the spherical in nature. They having the two layers, exine and the intile. Filament, it is nothing but the stalk of a stamen. The filament is absent stamen is known as a sessile stamen. Connective, it is a group of tissue connecting the two anther lobe. The extension of filament forms the conducting strand. The connective is a long stalk-like body arranged on the filament separating the two anther lobe. Pollen grain, exine is a thicker with a spiny outer surface. The intine is a thin, smooth. The pollen grain are uninucleate haploid bodies developed from the diploid pollen mother cells and the present inner lobes after the meiosis. Pollen grain on germination produces the pollen tube bearing two male gamete. Cohesion. When the member of same whole of flower are fuses to each other, that phenomenon is known as a cohesion. When stamen are fused together, that is known as the cohesion of stamen. They are classified Adelphi, Syngeny and the Synandry. Adelphi, they are classified into monodelphous, didelphous and the polydelphous. When all filament are united into single bundle, that is known as a monodelphous. The anther are free but filament are united, that is known as a monodelphous. For example, hibiscus. Diadelphous, the stamen are united and forming two bundles. The number of stamens in each bundle may be equal or unequal. For example, clitoria. Polydelphous, the filament of stamen are fused and the forming a distinct bundle more than three, that is known as a polydelphous. For example, citrus. Syngeny, united anther. In this type of cohesion, only anther are united, filament are free. This condition is known as syngeny. The united of anther, the single tube enclosing the style and the stigma. For example, tridax and the sunflower. Synandry, full stamen are the union. In this cohesion, stamens are united throughout both stamen and the filament. That condition is known as a synandry. We can see filament and the antherlobe both are the union. Adhesion, the union of stamen with other holes, sepals, petals, gynocieum, or the other part. That is the epipetalous, epiphylus, and gynandrous. Epipetalous, the stamen are united with petals partially or completely. In figure we can see that is known as the epipetal. Epiphylus, it is type of stamen are united with perianth, for example onion or polyanthus. Gynandrous, union of stamen with the carpel. That's combination or that union is known as a gynostegium. That occur in a calotropis, represent balloon like structure, that is known as a pollinia. These pollinia fuse in the pentagonal stigma at a corner to form a structure that is known as a gynostegium. Gynocium is the second essential holes of a flower. It is a female reproductive organ. It is also known as pistil or carpel. There are three parts: style, stigma, and ovary. Stigma is topmost, middle is a style, and the last one is a ovary. Style, the elongated stalk-like neck connecting the ovary with stigma, that is known as style. Stigma, it is nothing but the especially adaptive receive pollen grain. The stigma may be expanded into bulb or the disc-like divided into two or the more cylinder part. Ovary is a enlarged bulbous basal parts of the stele and bears ovules. The tissue to which ovules are attached is called as a placenta. Each ovule usually containing one egg. The female gametes are sex cells. The ovule are normally develops into seed when fertilized, and generally there are two or more ovule per carpel. In some plants, only one may be mature into seed. Ovary normally develops into fruit containing seed. Types of gynocium: bicarpellary, tricarpellary, pentacarpellary, polycarpellary, apocarpus, syncarpus. Bicarpellary, simple gynocium. Monocarpellary, it is called as a the when gynocium made up of a single carpel, that is known as the monocarpellary or the simple. Bicarpellary gynocium is made up of a two carpel. The tricarpellary, three carpel, penta, five, poly, more than five. Apocarpus condition, when there are more than one carpel in gynocium but they are in a free condition, that is known as the apocarpus. In that we can see there are many carpels but they are a free condition. Syncarpus, when carpels in gynocium united and forming a tube like structure, that is known as a syncarpus. We can see suture, the carpel highly modified female reproductive leaf is known as the megasporophyll. The megasporophyll folded the midrib at the two margin are fused and the margin comes together, turns to inward and unite to form a chamber, that is known as the ovary cavity, and the midrib portion of carpel, that is known as the dorsal suture. Placentation, ovary contain on more ovule and the bone of a cushion like nutrient mass, that is known as a placenta. The mode of arrangement of placenta within the cavity, that is known as the placentation. There are the five types of placentation: marginal, axile, parietal, free, central, basal, superficial. Marginal placentation, in that ovule arrange on the margin of that placenta, that is known as the marginal placentation. The ovules are arranged on the exile position of a ovary or the placenta. Parietal placenta, the ovule are arranged on the position periphery of that ovary. Pre-central, the ovule arranged in a free as well as in a center, that is known as a free central placentation. Basal, the ovules are arranged at the base of ovary, that placentation is known as a basal placentation. Superficial, the ovary is a multilocular, the placenta develop all around the inner surface, the partition of ovary. Significance of calyx, significance of corolla, significance of androcieum, and significance of gynocieum. Placentation we have to see. First, calyx, it is a role in a flowering plants for the protection. Flower prevent the drying. That function of calyx protect flowering condition, perform the photosynthesis, and it is the innermost hole which attract the insect. Same manner, corolla are doing the attracting insect for the pollination because corolla are the colorful part. Androcieum, it is a male reproductive organ and the production of male gamete is done. Significance of gynocieum. Gynocieum, it is a female reproductive organ and it is doing the function of a production of a female gamete.